Right, go for it.
Okay, so workouts recently, we've had a lot of longer aerobic workouts where people have been challenged over an extended period of time, where the common question has appeared, which we're going to talk about now, of ways of managing your rest better during a workout.
It's not even been a question, you've just seen people do it.
Okay, so the first thing to think about is identifying for yourself what the limiter is in any given workout for yourself, because it will be different from one person to the next. Is it more of a mechanical limiter, so your ability to actually do said exercise, or is it a respiratory breathing limiter? Okay, because each one is going to be slightly different in terms of then how you manage your rest based around that. We're going to give you a few examples, so this will give you a bit of food for thought in terms of giving yourself an opportunity to get more out of the workout, in terms of not feeling like you've got to take massive amounts of rest, but actually planning or pre-planning when you're going to take those rest periods of time.
Plan what you're going to do first.
So thinking ahead of time, looking at the workout, going, right, what for me is going to be the most challenging area of that workout, and then planning ahead of going, right, how am I going to break it down, when am I going to rest, space around when I'm doing that exercise, am I coming from it so I'm a little bit more tired, or am I need a little bit more rest before I go into it. Just looking at certain things. So if it's a mechanical barbell exercise, it might be a case of going, right, I do a set number of reps that I've decided to do, I take a step back, I maybe get a bit of chalk, 3 to 5 breaths, I go back in, I start my next set. That's one way of managing kind of weighted movements, barbell movements. The same thing could apply for body weight movements in terms of from a mechanical perspective, whether it's your ability to do any given number of reps of say a pull-up or a push-up. That could be applied in the same way. But when it comes to more respiratory, so things like running, rowing, work on the bike, it might be a case of resting before you go into something, starting with a slightly slower pace. You might walk to the back door, then start to jog, then start to pick up your pace in terms of running, as opposed to just trying to sprint out the door and hold on for dear life. Same thing goes when you're on a row or a bike. It might be a case of just easing in and building your pace over your distance that you've got to go for, whether it's calories or meters. When it comes to more body weight movements like box jumps and burpees, I like to personally set myself, given the number of reps that I've got to do in a set, I set myself a little landmark. So I'm like, right, I've got 20 reps to do of burpees. I might go, right, I'll work through 5 reps, then take a slightly extended rest. I'll work to 10 reps, slightly extended rest, as opposed to going, geez, I've got this massive number of 20 to get to. Same thing can apply for, box jumps. I like fractioning like that. I think things to try not to do. Do you want to talk about this in terms of resting? Right? I like to, if I've taken a break from something, I'll always try and keep moving. So like I said earlier,
don't pull out a picnic table, a chair, or sit down.
Thanks, Miriam. I would suggest going, right, I'm going to walk to the wall, touch the wall, come back. I'm going to walk to the pillar, I'm going to walk to the chalk back and come back. When I get back, I'm going to start my work. Try not to sit down on the ground. Cross your legs and sit statically. I think you want to try and keep moving, keep blood moving.
Looks like you finished the workout as well.
Standing up, yeah, otherwise it does look like you finished the workout. Try not to walk outside. Some people do that sometimes and I think they're done, but they then come back in and proceed on with their work. Don't just move around in a small space. Try not to sit down, unless you're weightlifting and doing one or 2 reps. We're talking now for more of a CrossFit style workout. Managing your rest time, not trying to find yourself daydreaming, can sometimes help from just making sure that you stay present in the moment, focusing on what you're doing, focusing about what you're going to be doing next. CrossFit workouts sometimes they're a bit like chess, where you're thinking, right, I'm going to think sort of 2 or 3 steps ahead of where I'm currently at in terms of, right, how am I going to work to that point, and then what am I going to do when I get to that point in terms of breaking things down, managing rest time, getting back to work. Is that what you wanted to sort of touch on in terms of resting?
Everyone likes to rest.
Everyone loves the rest.
More so than the workouts. The more you work,
the
quicker it finishes.
It's going to differ as well in terms of whether it's rounds for time, AMRAP, task priority versus time priority. It's going to differ, but I think planning ahead, looking at what's ahead of you, in front of you in terms of the movement selection, strengths and weakness is for you, and where you're going to place your rest.
Have a rep scheme, know where you're going to rest.
Absolutely, and that is for you going to allow you to get more out of the workout in terms of not feeling like you're crawling through it. But you can go, right, I'm going to work to this point. I know I've got my rest here. And that for you psychologically is always a good thing to try and work towards, to work your way through rounds, whatever it might be, repetitions of any given movement based upon what is strength or weakness for you.
Build a plan. Plan to fail. that right?
Something like that.